Well, we've been privileged to talk to a lot of people who are involved in some way in service to others during the COVID-19 pandemic. And today I'm really delighted to welcome Sven Spengemann, who's the MP for Mississauga-Lakeshore. Sven, thanks for joining us today.
Michael, thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity.
I think the last time you and I met, we actually met in an airport waiting lounge in Johannesburg. I think you were coming back from an international parliamentarian event of some kind, and we were stuck delayed in the same place.
Yes, that I was on my way back from Lusaka, Zambia. It was the Inter-Parliamentary Union's annual assembly in Lusaka. The IPU is the oldest inter-parliamentary organization in the world. It's basically the union of the world's parliaments, has over 170 member states, and we had an excellent set of discussions in Africa on human development, on education, on security, and economic development as well.
Let me ask you a little bit about your work as a parliamentarian, as an MP. How is Parliament meeting now? How are you doing your day-to-day work and fulfilling your public service?
Parliament, like many parliaments around the world, is now meeting virtually and in part through a hybrid format. In other words, there's a reduced presence in Ottawa, complemented by a virtual presence as well that parliamentarians can take advantage of to call in from all parts of the country. I think it'll be a very effective model. We're starting to embrace it. The primary committee that's currently active is the COVID committee, COVI. It's the committee by which we address considerations relating directly to the pandemic and the response to the pandemic.
Do you find that the rhythm of your day is similar to what you'd have in Ottawa? I mean, committee meetings, sitting parliament meetings, or is the nature of the connection and being at home working remotely different?
There's a lot of connection to residents in the community. Obviously, that's front and center for us, is to look after our electors, our residents, people who are now suffering and have come under pressure, both from the health and safety side and also from the economic side. So we're spending a good amount of time on that. And it's actually good that we have more time available to do that as members of Parliament than we would otherwise have had because of the travel schedules, because of the in-person meetings that would require even travel within the parliamentary precinct. A lot of this now will go virtual and will be more effective, so that frees up time to connect with what's really important, which is to make sure that the residents of Mississauga-Lakeshore are looked after to the absolute greatest extent possible.
World Vision's office, national headquarters in Canada, is actually in Mississauga. I know many of our staff are actually among your constituents. What are you hearing from them right now in the middle of this context?
I think people are extremely concerned about getting accurate information with respect to the pandemic itself, with respect to the virus, the way the virus manifests itself.
Well, that idea of information in the middle of a pandemic, one of the most important tools that we have is to make sure that people know what to do, where to go, where to get information. It's actually a link to our work internationally. That's, I think, one of those examples where we can see that the pandemic, it's bigger than goes beyond our borders in terms of the same kinds of concerns, information, the response is the same in terms of the prevention measures that are necessary, but it's just that much harder when there's even less access to information in some of the places, the developing countries that we work in.
Sure. No, I think that's absolutely right. And I had the opportunity to see that in January when I was able to travel to Bangladesh, to Cox's Bazaar, at the invitation of World Vision Canada. I'm really grateful for this opportunity. The magnitude of the refugee camps was profound. Over 1 million people in a very, very small area, much smaller than the city of Mississauga even. A lot of the training has to be done by word of mouth, through elders, through leaders. And then add to that the challenge of rapidly changing information. You may have said one thing one week, and then the parameters of or the vectors of the infection change, and you add information or you change information. That's incredibly difficult.
June 20th is World Refugee Day. It's a chance for us to actually think about the particular needs of refugees and displaced people. We're trying to use that as a moment to help spread the word about the importance of responding not just here in Canada, critical as that is, but also thinking about the impact globally. What things do you think about trying to get that message out around considering a response that goes perhaps beyond our borders?
I think Canadians, what I'm encouraged by is that Canadians are with us in large part. It's been a very quick reflex for us. I think many of my colleagues in government say we are measured really as Canada, as a G7 country, as in a way a beacon in the liberal, small L developed world, as a society that is measured by how well we look after our most vulnerable populations. And the mindset to assist refugees starts here at home.
Sven, one of the things that we've also been talking about through this series is what we're calling our hidden heroes. There are people on the front lines or involved, sometimes behind the scenes, or maybe aren't recognized well enough in responding to the COVID-19 pandemic. Is there somebody or a group of people that you think of who are hidden heroes to you?
There are so many, Michael. I think I would do a huge disservice to all the others if I mentioned even 1, 2, 3 of them. I think that let's sort of unpack that, where that comes from, that it's a mindset. And you see that mindset in the youngest of the young, who put up a lemonade stand and put that money towards relief for purchasing latex gloves for a local facility. The Canadian family, in a profound way, has seized the mentality of being a hero. Following social distancing, physical distancing guidelines is an act of heroism, because by doing that, you help other people not to get infected. Washing your hands, right? Not taking public transit if there's large groups of people on public transit. Staying away from the park, as tempting as it is right now with the nice weather outside. That's discipline, but in a way, it's a social heroism, because we do it not for ourselves, we do it to keep our neighbors safe. I think it's the mindset of saying, okay, this is big, this is bad, but we can get through this together, and I'm going to get up and do something.
Thanks so much for sharing, Sven, and thanks for being with us today and helping us to share this glimpse of life for you as a parliamentarian, what you're hearing from your constituency, and your international experience has also really helped us understand this context here in Canada and around the world even better. So thank you so much, Sven.
Have a great afternoon.
Thanks.
Take care. Bye for now, Michael.